Hey everyone, it's Alan over at Cobblers Plus, and thank you for joining us for our daily video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a shoe accessory that is a must-have if you're an avid shoe enthusiast or plan to start getting into footwear and hoping that they last you for not only years, but probably decades, maybe even generations. And a must-have is obviously Cedar Shoe Trees. In particular, today we have a set of Rochester shoe trees. They're one of our favorite brands because Rochester tends to concentrate a lot more on treating their wood, and because of that, the wood tends to last longer. It smells better too, and it's just a higher quality build in particular. There are a lot of great ones out there too. Woodlore, off-brand ones are actually not bad either. As long as they're Cedar Shoe Trees, you're going to be in great shape, but if you want to take your game up, Rochester in particular are the pick that we like personally, and a number of other cobblers and avid shoe enthusiasts. This particular model that we're working with today here is the 6011. It's for men's dress shoes. They do have other models out there. They're a little more standard. They don't get too fancy or too crazy with their different models like some companies do. But if you're looking for kind of a basic, build one where you have everything that you need in that Cedar Shoe Tree, Rochester is definitely the way to go. And with this particular model here, they do have a single barrel here. When I say single barrel, sometimes they have two of these barrels here with extra spring tension that kind of helps with the resistance of stretching out the shoe. And it's got the split toe right there down the middle, so that means if you got an oddly shaped shoe or if you got a wider foot or something, they're going to fill that toe area in a lot better. Also, they do have a wider heel area here. Sometimes they make them a little bit narrower, so it's not a great thing with the narrow ones just because it kind of presses too much in that back of the heel, and not a great thing if you're planning to invest in a nice pair of shoes and expect them to last you for many years. It may damage that heel counter in the back. Now in today's video, we are featuring a pair of Alden shell cordovans. These are the number 8s. One of my favorite brands of shoes, and definitely my favorite leather. I love shell cordovan. It's a little bit different and tricky to work with, but if you know what you're doing, these things can last you for a very long time if properly maintained. But I've got a pair here where you can see that the gentleman in the shell cordovan has some creasing here, and shell cordovan is known for creasing like that, but you can have that happen in any type of leather. Basically, you'll have that kind of creasing typically from walking and where your toe bends right here. That's where the creasing starts to occur. The other thing, what accelerates the creasing, and especially on, say, cowhide, for example, you'll start seeing cracks that start to occur. That mainly happens is because your foot perspires, the leather absorbs all that moisture, those salts and those minerals that come out of your body basically from sweat, and obviously it's evaporating, but during the evaporation process, the leather likes to try to bunch up and it like squeezes everything, pulls itself in, and it's not a good thing. So definitely this is why you want to go with a Cedar Shoe Tree. There are plastic shoe trees and composite ones. They're great for travel, but definitely not great if you're going to be keeping your shoes on a shelf at home or at work or wherever you're keeping them on a shelf for extended periods of time, or even after a full day of wearing them and you plan to wear them the next day. I don't recommend wearing shoes day in and day out just because it's not good for the shoes and not good for the feet either from an orthopedic standpoint. But having the Cedar Shoe Trees will definitely help absorb that moisture and wick it away. And with that amazing smell of cedar, oh, I love that smell. It's going to refresh your shoes nicely. So definitely a well-worthy investment if you're spending, $100 or a couple of hundred or a couple of $1,000s on a pair of shoes. Don't skimp out with Cedar Shoe Trees. A lot of these shoe trees will actually even outlast some of your shoes too. I've had pairs of shoes brought in with Cedar Shoe Trees inside of them that are still cherry wood, which they don't make them too much anymore. They're like vintage. They look amazing, these old Cedar Shoe Trees. Very cool. Or cherry wood trees. They look awesome. So definitely, if you're planning to have your shoes for a long period of time, two most important things always, you have to have something to condition it, and Cedar Shoe Trees are a must-have. So invest in a nice pair. Rochester is what we recommend. Woodlore is another great one. Or if you're at a store and they have their own branded ones or something, definitely get those at least. If you decide you find another pair of Cedar Shoe Trees, or if you decide you want a Rochester one, you can just switch them from shoe to shoe, alternate. By all means, do that. Some people do that. I have no problem with that. I do it too, just because different types of shapes of shoe trees will do a little bit differently for you. So definitely look into these. Plastic ones always help if you're somebody that travels a lot, because it cuts down on weight. Cedar Shoe Trees do add a little bit of weight, so just wanted to mention that for anybody that's a traveler who goes around for work, but just wanted to mention that to all of you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. You can always go to our website, CobblersPlus.com. All of our contact information is on there, and you know, send us pictures if you want us to examine something as well, or you could always swing by too if you're local here in the Denver area or just visiting. Stop by, grab a cup of coffee, and see what we have for you. And hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell icon and subscribe, and we'll see you all tomorrow then.